Hi guys, Danica Ferrante here from mybeautyscraps.com. I'm very excited to share with you guys what's inside the My Paper Pumpkin kit for October. As you can see, this month it came in a bright fluorescent pink box. It says, "Together we make a difference." Stamp out breast cancer. Since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the My Paper Pumpkin boxes all went pink for October, and Stampin' Up! Made a donation, $1 for every current subscriber plus an additional $1 if you are new this month. So this little card explains about the donation Stampin' Up! Was able to make to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And here's the little thank you pumpkin card that comes in every kit. Thank you for inviting me back every month. And let's see what's inside. I love that it's all wrapped up in tissue. Like a little creative present every month. So every month it also comes with a little Stampin' spot, a mini ink pad. Sometimes it comes with two. This month we got basic gray. And this is the stamp set. You get a stamp set every month too, and this looks so fun. I'm very excited about this one. You get 3 great sentiments. There's thanks, congrats, and thinking of you. And I just love these flowers that kind of have like a sketchy hand-drawn feel to them. There's flowers and a stem and petals, leaves. I love these little branches, very cute. And inside, this is the meat of the kit. The name of the kit is Blissful Bouquet. And here's the instruction sheet on top. So I love that every kit comes with full instructions. You can see examples of how to make it. Looks like this month it's 9 different cards, and it comes with 9 different matching envelopes. Looks like the cards are all of the 3 Stampin' Up! Sizes. So it looks like the traditional size, the medium size, and then also the note card size and the little 3x3 size. And inside you see written instructions as well as picture instructions on how to make all the cards, which is really great. And if you're totally new to Stampin', My Paper Pumpkin is perfect. Sorry, totally new to stamping with Stampin' Up. But if you're totally new to stamping and paper crafts, My Paper Pumpkin is such a great kit to start off with, because you get everything you need all together to make the projects, and it gives you all of the instructions and really walks you through it. Even on the back it has instructions on how to stamp and just about removing the stamps from the sheet and putting them on clear blocks, and how to press it straight down and straight back up, and how to get the best image. It's really all-inclusive. A great way to start yourself crafting, but also a great gift to give someone who might be interested in crafting or starting to craft. But enough blah blah blah. Let's see what's inside. So those are the instructions, and here's all of our goodies. So it looks like this is the Vanilla Baker's Twine. Very cool. And all these pattern papers are great. There's 3 of these circles. Look at this print. That is so fun. It has like a watercolor look to it. And then there's 4 of these squares. Was I right? Were there 3 circles? Oh, nope, there's 4 circles too. 4 circles, 4 squares. And these are the little 3x3 envelopes. Looks like crumb cake to me. Oh, top folding, that's fun. These look like the note card size and crumb cake. A big sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. And then the little 3x3 note cards are in Whisper White. These look like a watercolor patterned paper. 3 yellow. I'm gonna think that this is crushed curry. Not sure. If it's different, I'll put a little note on the screen. But this is the note card size that go with the crumb cake note cards. And then this is the traditional size, or what's called the medium envelopes in the Stampin' Up! Catalog and online store. And that looks like Calypso Coral. And then these are the traditional size note cards. There's 3 of those too. And there's more, and there's more. Oh, these are great. There's 4 of these labels. And can you see how they have kind of a hand-drawn look to the outline of the tags? And then there's 4 of these yellow banner style and 4 of the green banner style. And again, they're die cuts. They punch right out. And this looks like a gold sticker sheet. It's kind of hard to see. That's better. So there's the branches like are in the stamp set, and then there's little leaves or petals like in the stamp set too. Very cool. I know I love gold. All right, let's get stamping. I've started by putting a few of the images onto some of my acrylic blocks. So this is the Thinking of You image. I've got that one ready to go. I also used this long block, this is block H, to put one of the branches on one side and the other branch on the other. And for this last block, this is my D block, I put a bunch of images on it. I took all the flower images from the set. So you can see the big full flower, the medium flower is kind of like a profile view, and then there's 3 little tiny flowers, and I mounted them all on my block together. I'm kind of going for an alternate card idea to share with you guys. So I took a Whisper White card base from my stash. So this is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Whisper White, cut in half and scored in half. And for ease of inking, I'm just going to use my large basic gray ink pad, but we did get that little Stampin' Spot in the kit, so you could use that if you don't have the large one. And I'm gonna make a background. This is the first time I'm stamping with these, so I'm just making sure I ink it up very well. I think I'm gonna stamp it once in my scrap paper just to make sure I've got good coverage, and I'm missing little spots, but should get it better on this next pass. Sometimes that first impression you stamp is never the greatest with a new stamp set. You kind of have to season your stamps a little bit. But one of the things I really like about these stamps is they're very forgiving, having that like sketchy hand-drawn look. There are going to be some imperfections, so it is pretty forgiving if you don't stamp it perfectly. All right. That looks pretty good. I think we'll go right Very nice. And then I'm just gonna repeat that process to cover most of the background. I am thinking in my head I'm gonna be layering a piece towards the top center, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that area. I'm gonna rotate this a little bit. Whenever I'm doing a background, I always try to make sure I'm getting some images hanging off the edge. Just gives it more of a random look. Turning your stamp helps with that too. There we go. That looks good. I might get just one more in that corner. Beautiful. So let's see, the other stamping we're going to do is our sentiment. Now, I didn't want to use basic gray. Where's my labels? There we go. These labels came in the kit and they have like a black outline. So I thought a black sentiment would look better. So I decided to use the Thinking of You stamp. And I grabbed my basic black ink pad. So this is the new one that's in the 2015 holiday catalog. It's the archival basic black ink pad, and it's wonderful. I'm using it all the time. It's a really, really great black. It's a huge improvement from the old basic black that Stampin' Up! Used to have. I would always use the Memento Tuxedo Black ink instead. But now I really find myself reaching for this one over the Memento. Looks like we're nice and inked up. I think I'm going to stamp it on a little bit of an angle. Looks good. And I'm going to make all four of them, or all four of the labels for 4 different cards. I'm going to make them all Thinking of You. Then the last thing we're going to stamp. So these are the 3x3 pattern papers that came in the kit. The branches from the stamp set coordinate perfectly with this pattern paper. So it's designed for you to stamp over them to kind of give them an outline. So we're going to see how that looks using the basic gray. Again, I'm going to use the big ink pad, but you can use the little spot that came in the kit. So there's 2 different branches in the stamp set. One kind of curves left and one kind of curves right. So we're going to use both of them on here. And I love the photopolymer that you can see right through to where you're stamping. And let me just give you a closer look at that. So see, I stamped all of the branches that are curving toward the left. And you could leave it just like that. You don't have to do this step and stamp at all. The paper is really beautiful without the outline stamping. But I think it's a fun idea. So I wanted to give it a try. So now I'm going to stamp all the branches that curve to the right. Awesome. So that's it. That's what it looks like. I really, really like that look. Here you can see it next to the, whoops, I was going the wrong direction. Next to the pattern paper plain as it comes in the kit. And here you can see what it looks like stamped. It really makes a big difference. And it's fun. So I was thinking about using Calypso Coral to layer this piece. So this was just a 8.5 by 11 sheet of Calypso Coral I cut down to layer. Something I had in my stash. The Calypso Coral cardstock is not in the kit. So I cut it down to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 to mat with our pattern paper. And let's bring in our base. I think that's looking very fun. And our punched labels. Okay, I think I'm ready for adhesive. Oh, so funny. I always move stuff around. Just gonna put some snail adhesive on the back of this and adhere it to my Calypso Coral layer. Looks good. And then all right, so I kind of wanted to have a messy look. I wrapped it around 3 times. I didn't worry about keeping it straight. In fact, I tried to make it kind of cross over and be a little random, a little crooked. Isn't it funny, like when you try to make something random, how hard it is? When you're trying to make something perfectly straight, it ends up random, but if you want it to look messy, it's always a challenge. So I'm just going to try to tie a little bow. There we go. So when I center the sentiment tag, the bow's just going to sit right on the top left there. And we can trim the ends off later. So I want to use Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see. Looks like I'll break into the set we got in the kit. This really is a huge sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm always generous with mine, so I think I'm going to go with 3 on the back. Okay. There we go, that's sort of centered. Now we can trim up our little tails for the bow. can't decide if I want to pop this whole thing up. I think I want to stick it down flat since our little tags popped up there. So I'm just going to use some snail on the top and the bottom. Get a little bit in there on the sides. That'll help keep the baker's twine in place too. And then we're going to put that down like the top center, if that makes sense. Oh, that's very cute. I really love this stamp set. I can tell I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. So let's have a closer look. Very fun. Thinking of you. A quick and easy alternate card idea using October's Paper Pumpkin Kit. You could even color in the flowers that you stamped on the background if you want to step it up. I'm kind of thinking about it needs a little bling. Maybe adding some rhinestones or pearls on here. So if you want to step up the background of your card a little bit, watercoloring is always fun. I love the look of watercoloring, plus I think the stamping on the watercolor pattern paper really coordinates well with this look. So it's also really easy to do. I already got some ink into the lid, but basically when the ink pad is closed, you just give it a little squeeze, and then when you open it up, you get a little pool of ink right on the lid that you can use as your watercolor palette. You can use an aqua painter by itself to do this, but I find that I have more control when I use a paintbrush. This is just a regular craft cheap paintbrush you can pick up at the craft store. And then I squeeze a little bit of water from my aqua painter into the lid. And that way I can control how much water and how much ink I'm using. So I just kind of mix a little bit of water with the ink till I get my desired combination. And then you just loosely go over the flowers. I like to leave a little bit of white so that you can tell it's watercolor and doesn't look so flat. And if you feel like it's coming out too thick, just add more water, or too opaque, I guess. Just add more water. But you don't have to be careful at all. I think watercoloring is so fun. I do follow the shape of the petals, and that way the brush strokes that you end up seeing when you leave the white space also follow the petal shape. But just like you don't have to be too careful when you're stamping the outlines on the watercolor paper, you really don't have to be too careful when you're filling in these outlines with actual watercoloring either. And that's it. So I'm going to finish off the card using the pattern paper that came in the kit, just like I did the last one, layered with the Calypso coral cardstock, the pattern paper from the kit, and the stamp from the kit, and I'm going to use my baker's twine. So here you can see the difference that it makes to add that little bit of watercoloring, and I really like the look of both of them. I am so excited to continue crafting with this paper pumpkin kit. I swear they just get better and better every month. I've got lots of ideas of cards to make, so make sure to subscribe here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any. I probably won't make a video for every one of the cards, but I will share all of the cards that I make with my paper pumpkin kit on my blog. That's at mybeautyscraps.com, so make sure to head over there, check it out, and subscribe so you don't miss anything. If you're not yet a My Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I would love it if you signed up and chose me as your demonstrator. It is so fun. I look forward to getting this kit every month, and I love sharing my ideas for alternate projects with the kit with you guys. If you want to learn more about signing up for My Paper Pumpkin and all of the perks of signing up with me, head over to my blog at mybeautyscraps.com, and there's a tab right at the top that'll answer all your questions. And there's a spot to email me as well if you still have more questions. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, happy stamping. Talk to you soon. Bye.